Hello everyone, how was your day? I hope you guys are in a good health. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Rahmati Kurota Aini. I'm a postgraduate student from English Language Education Study Program of Universitas Indra Prasta PGRI. In this video, I want to deliver my presentation about the impact of social media on children's development. Okay, here is the outline of the presentation. The first, I'm going to tell you about the stage of children's development. And the next is the characteristic of children's development stage. And the third is I'm going to tell you about the positive and also the negative impact of social media on children's development. And the last will be a conclusion. I will end the presentation by tell you the conclusion of the presentation. Nowadays, many media sites can be easily accessed from the internet. Social media is not only popular among adults, but it's also accessed by children because besides use as communication tools, social media also allow us to access all information easily. This raises various questions and concerns about the impact of social media on children's development. According to Jan Fisher, the stage of child development consists of four main stages. The first is sensory motor, the second is pre-operational, the third is concrete operational, and the fourth stage is formal operational. And now I'm going to explain you the characteristic of each stage of child development. The first is the characteristic of sensory motor stage. In this stage, children learn through their sense and motor action by seeing, hearing, touching, and reaching something. And in this stage, they began to develop the concept of object permanent, which they realizing that objects still exist even though they are not visible. The second is pre-operational stage. In this stage, children began to use language, symbol to think, but still have difficulty to understanding logical concept and abstraction. In this stage, children also tend to be self-centered and have difficulty seeing the world from the perspective of others. And the third stage is concrete operational stage. In this stage, children begin to be able to think logically about concrete objects and understanding the concept of conversation. Then they also can classify objects, short them, and perform some operation, but they still have difficulty to think abstractly. And the last stage is formal operational stage. In this stage, children are able to think abstractly, hypothetically, and systematically, and they can solve a problem. Okay, now we're going to move to the next slide. I believe everyone here know Upin Ipin, right? Yeah. Upin Ipin is a cartoon that every kids love to watch it, and nowadays everyone can access and watch it in every social media such as YouTube, TikTok, Short, YouTube, Telegram, and many others. Okay, in this page, I will tell you about what the scene is talking about. The scenes taken from Upin Ipin Pim Pim Pom series that show Upin Ipin felt hungry after watching a magic show on the television. They looked for food in the kitchen, but they didn't find anything there. And after a few minutes, they saw a wooden spoon and imagined it as a magic wand. They spin around their hand and say Pim Pim Pom with the hope there's something will appear on the dinner table. But it showed nothing until their sister bring them an ice cream. From that scene, we can see that the scene of the cartoon Upin Ipin show a characteristic of children development that is pre-operational stage. It shows from how the way how been using a spoon as a symbol that representing a magic wand. If children in age 3 until 7 years old watch kind of this cartoon on their social media, they will do or imitate what they have seen, because children is in this age enjoy to do role play where they can take on the role of someone else or perform action that they saw in social media and also their environment. Okay, that scene that we have discussed before show that social media can greatly affect the development of children, because social media offer many potential benefits for children that available on various platforms that help them to learn through the social media, and also it can stimulate children's imagination and also their creativity. However, it can be denied. Social media also carries various risks that need to be considered. Okay, according to Zubir in 2019, there are several positive and negative impacts of social media on children's development. The first is social media can facilitate access to information and education. Social media can be an interesting and interactive learning resource for children. Several social media platforms offer educational content that can help children to learn many things, and one of them is Duolingo Kids. This platform facilitates children to learn foreign language in a fun and interactive way. The second is social media help children in social interaction. Children can build communication with their friend, family member, or social media even also help them to increase their confidence to speak with a new word and new knowledge to other people. And social media also help children to increase their skill development. In pre-operational stage, children began to learn to communicate through language. They began to pronounce words from simple sentence and understand verbal communication and many other. The use of social media also can help children develop skills and their creativity, especially it helps to develop their language skill. Okay, in this slide, I will explain you about the negative impact of social media on children's development. The first impact is social media can cause sleep disorder. The overuse of social media can affect children's sleep quality, and also it can cause anxiety. So it is not good for their health. And the second is social media can cause behavioral disorders. The uncontrolled use of social media can disrupt the concentration and cause impulsive behavior, and even increase the risk of mental health disorder of children. The last negative impact that caused by social media is developmental disorder. According to Piaget, children in age 2 until 7 years begin to use language and symbol, but still have difficulty thinking logically. Therefore, the overuse of social media can interfere with children's cognitive and emotional development. And to prevent the negativity or negative impact of social media, there are several things that need to be considered. The first, parents can limit the use of social media. Parents can create a screening time for children to access social media. For example, children are allowed to access social media once a week, and they are only allowed to access it for a maximum of 1 hour. The second is, we can monitor the content that accessed by children, and don't forget to interact with them by actively asking about their activity during the day. We can monitor children's activity by link children's gadget and ours gadget by using the family link application. And the third is, we can or parent can offer others activity that provide fun and beneficial activity, such as playing outside, exercising, or participating in art activity. So this activity can distract children from their addiction in social media. Finally, we arrive at the end of the presentation. It can be concluded that social media has a very big influence and impact on children's development, but in positive and negative form. The influence depends on how parents limit and monitor their children in using social media. The famous poet Hafiz Ibrahim said, "Al-ummu madrasatul ula, iza a'addataha al-datta sya'ban tayyibal a'rab." It's mean mother is the first madrasah or school for her child. If you prepare or teach her well, then it is the same as you prepare a good nation from its root. I'm Rahmati Kurota Aini. Thank you for listening to my explanation until the end of presentation. Hopefully what I have conveyed to you guys can be useful for you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.